Hi, this is Alice Schmidt, and today I'm speaking to you from the Columbus Antique Mall, which was the Columbus Canning Company from 1901 until it sold the business to Stokely Van Camps in 1946. When this room would have been a busy hive of workers preparing vegetables. Canning was very labor-intensive. From the farmer who signed a contract to plant so many acres of peas for the canning company, he needed to plow his land, drag his land, which was just pulling a heavy piece of equipment across it to break up the large lumps of dirt, who then used his 4 or 6 row planters to plant the seeds. Early in the morning, the cutters moved out, and once there was enough light for them to see the peas, they began crossing the fields, winnowing the cut pea vines into long rows. After that came a wagon or a flatbed truck, and onto it they placed a conveyor belt which picked up the peas and pea vines and loaded them onto the truck or trailer. From the viners, the peas traveled by conveyor belt across the table of the women pea pickers, wearing their hairnets and looking down and removing seeds, small stones, pieces of pea vine, and badly damaged peas. The conveyor belt continued on its way until it met another conveyor belt carrying cans. The cans were filled, sealed, and loaded into large crates waiting to be cooked. They were moved to the cook room by human labor. The crates traveled on a belt on a big cable into the room. They were loaded by crane into the cookers, pressure cookers, cooked, removed by the crane into the cooling tanks. The cooling tanks were filled with artesian well water, as there were many artesian wells in the community. Once the cans came out of the cooler, they were again on the cables, and they were passed into the area where they were packed into cases, 24 cans in a case for civilian consumption, 4-gallon cans into a case for the military. They proceeded through the warehouse, and another area of heavy work was that warehouse, where the cases were stacked by lot almost up to the ceiling of the warehouse. By 1943, the canning factory was in desperate need of workers to fill those 3 heavy areas. They had plenty of workers for the others, but those 3 heavy areas became more difficult each year as men went into service.
Such is the story of Del Monte peas, a story of quality started long before the seeds themselves were planted in the soil, a quality nurtured in the fields by scientific cultivation, improved in the cannery by careful selection and exacting supervision, and made available under the famous Del Monte label to housewives everywhere. From field to cannery, it's one continuous cycle of unremitting care, of men, methods, and machines, all dedicated to one ideal, that Del Monte peas shall be none but the pick of the pod.